I get excited about seeing results. That's what I get excited about. I get really excited about breaking new records and there's only one way that that's going to happen, and that is by selecting superior genetics. So when I go in and mark the lambs, and I set a new record for lamb marking because, you know, all of a sudden we've done something that hasn't been done for us before, you know, so that's where all my goals are. I've just got to keep getting better and better. Not knowing what animals you were using and not having confidence in the rams that we were breeding, I just found it frustrating. Yeah, that actually made me sit down and go, righto, where do I want to go? What do I want to do? And how am I going to get there? And that was when I started to focus more on genetics, you know, and said, okay, well, I'm going back to lamb plan and using lamb plan rams. I'm not going to muck around trying to breed my own rams or anything like that. Basically, you've just got to work out what's good for your environment, what's good for your farm, and head down that direction. Hard part's making the decision. Once you make the decision, it's easy because you just go straight down that track. Our three major profit drivers would be pasture production or stocking rate, reproduction rate in our ewes. So that's fertility, and then growth rate of our lambs. Genetic selection, we're selecting lamb plan EBVs for number of lambs weaned, and also for lambing ease. Lambing ease direct with the terminals, and lambing ease daughters in the maternals. So they're EBVs that we pay considerable attention to when we're selecting our rams. And of course, when we're selecting our terminal size, we're selecting for growth, muscle, and we don't like to select too negative fat either. So it's like to have a bit of fat. We try to get negative wear egg counts, so it reduces our drenching requirements, and therefore our production increases in the spring, and particularly when the lambs are born. The supermarket trade's changing all the time. We're trying to select animals that are going to fit into the 18 to 26 to 27 kilogram category now, and fat score 3 carcass, yeah. So we sort of went down the lamb path a bit with the Corriedales, and then the Coopworths have been chasing the lamb, going down that lamb path for a long time. And they complement each other well because you're putting the wool back on the Coopworth, or finding up the wool of the Coopworth with the Corriedale, and then the Corriedale was a little weak on the fertility front, and the Coopworth put a bit back in, so they complement themselves pretty well. And then you've got the hybrid vigour as well. Yeah, they're a good partnership. The two breeds are so far apart on the breed spectrum that when you cross them, you get a big boost of hybrid vigour. The hybrid vigour thing's always stuck in my mind. As my animal production lecturer told me, there's only one thing in agriculture we get for free, and that's hybrid vigour. We're trying to make as much money per hectare as we possibly can, and we're limited in how many animals per hectare we can run. So the best way to do it is then to make those animals more profitable, and that gives us a better return per hectare. If we can run or get 1.5 or 1.6 lambs per ewe instead of 1, that means that I don't have to do as much work. We have more lambs for less ewes, and that also comes down to risk as well. We're not running as many ewes, so that we don't have as much risk out there. If the sheep industry, you know, takes a turn for the worse, we're not so exposed with numbers of ewes. You can't just go and buy a Corriedale or a Coopworth and expect it to happen. You've got to have good genetics behind it. When I'm selecting my Corriedales, I'm only selecting from those breeders who are using lamb plan. Well, I will go through the sales catalogue on the rams here at home, usually on the computer, because all the people I buy my rams off put their sale catalogues on lamb plan. Basically select the animals that I really want to look at in terms of the EBVs I'm interested in, so that when I get to the sale, there's only 10 or 15 rams I really need to look at. I think the last 5 years our lamb percentage to use join's 146, so that's getting up there. We're getting really happy with that, but I won't be happy until it's averaging 150. Well, we've seen increases in the amount of kilograms of land turned off per hectare. We've been able to increase the number of ewes turned off because we're producing more ewe lambs because of the increase in lamb percentage. So we're turning off more mutton as well as more lamb. So since we've started selecting for growth rates, high growth rates, and also, well, in conjunction with better management, we've seen a considerable amount of increase in weaning weight since we first started. Traditionally, we would have been, when we first started, weighing them around Christmas time, and anything that was 36 was in. Now, the whole lot average 40 kilo, you know, the whole group. Well, my advice to someone starting to use genetics is to actually have a plan and have a direction of where you want to go, and then use the genetics accordingly to get there, you know. I mean, if you want to increase your weaning weights or you want to increase your fertility, then you select on those traits, and that's going to be the best way of getting there.